Hello and welcome to The Curators, the podcast about game projects on Kickstarter. I'm Marcelo. You can find all the games from this episode as well as plenty of others at our curated page at kickstarter.com/gamerati. You can also find links to each of these projects in the show notes of this episode at thecurators.gamerati.com. If you're a backer of any of these projects, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at thecurators@gamerati.com. Tell us why you're backing a certain project, and we may feature your email on the podcast. 2 projects today, as always, as usual. Anyhow, first project is Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn Metal Dice by Crafty Games, which is the original publisher of the Mistborn RPG. I think it's a must-have for anyone who plays or runs Mistborn, the RPG. Let's start with a little background. In Brandon Sanderson's universe of the epic fantasy Mistborn series of novels, the heroes use a form of magic called allomancy, something like that. The allomancer ingests small pieces, small shavings of metals, usually alloys, and burns them inside their body to gain mental and physical super abilities. There are, I think on the first trilogy there were 16 metals and alloys, but then following books added more, so the Kickstarter is for 20 different metal dice, representing the 20 different metals that exist in the novels. Those 20 metals that the allomancers can use, with each metal granting them a specific ability. Each metal gives them a pull or push ability. I'll get to that in a little while. A person who is only able to burn one of the allomantic metals is known as a misting, and anyone who is naturally capable of burning all of the metals is called a Mistborn. The Kickstarter is for a full set of Mistborn dice for the Mistborn RPG. Each dice is different from the other. They have a different coating. They have different sheen to them to represent the different metals of the game. In each die, the number 6 is replaced by one of the specific and corresponding allomantic symbols. The best part of the project is that these dice already exist. You can see photos on the Kickstarter page of the actual dice that you are going to get on this Kickstarter. Let's see the dice you get on this set. The metal dice set has tin, a dice that simulates tin, which is has physical properties, is internal, and is pulling. Those things are important on the game. If you play the game, you know what I'm talking about. So burning tin boosts the allomancer senses to extraordinary levels, granting them unparalleled acuity and sensitivity. The opposite of tin is pewter, which is physical, internal, and pushing. Burning pewter enhances the allomancer's physical speed, strength, and endurance, and helps them heal more quickly. Iron is physical, external, and pulling. Burning iron lets the allomancer sense and pull on metal. They can disarm opponents, redirect arrows, and move to heavy objects, because the object is heavier than them, so they can pull themselves to the object. The opposite of iron is steel, which is physical, external, and pushing instead of pulling. Burning steel pushes metal, turning common coins into deadly projectiles and sending the allomancer through the air. And all the dice, all the allomancy metals and alloys are like this. I have copper and bronze, zinc and brass, aluminum and duralumin. You see, the dice that pull are, or the properties, the metals that pull, they are, quote unquote, the pure metals. There's a chemical name for that I don't remember. And the alloys are the ones that push, using an philosophically opposite effect of the pure metal. Chromium and nitrosyl, there's some fantasy alloys here, which is cool. Gold and electrum, cadmium and bendalloy, Etium and Maletium, Lerasium and Harmonium. I think those 4, Etium, Maletium, Lerasium, and Harmonium, are the ones that I didn't see on the original trilogy and then the following book, Alloy of Law. That's why I don't know them. Those guys are very pretty. Something very cool they are making here. The dice that push the numbers and the symbol that replaces number 6 what's the word I'm looking for? It's an indentation. They are recessed inside the faces of the die. The dice that pull, they are like the face is recessed and the numbers and the symbol are elevated compared to the recessed face of the die. They are all amazing. Let's see how much it costs to get a set of those amazing dice. So for $50 you are Mistborn merchant. Your funds will be a deposit against your wholesale purchase. Standard direct to retail terms will apply. You will be contacted by email after pledge for further details. Available items, everything including add-ons and stretch goals. So you get 1 set of Mistborn Allomancy dice, 1 set of Mistborn House War promo cards. House War is the board game that Crafty have released using one specific event of the first 3 books of Mistborn. Let's see here, at no additional cost, 1 of each item below per set of Mistborn Metal Dice purchased. For $180, this is the golden here, you get the Mistborn Metal Dice. 1 set of Mistborn Metal Dice delivered in a beautiful collector's tin. You may request multiple dice sets by pledging an additional $180 per set. And shipping will be charged separately in the Pledge Manager. I like Kickstarters that do that. I end up paying for my Kickstarter in 2 installments. First month I pay pledge level, and then shipping will be paid before shipping. What else we have here? $200 Mistborn Metal Dice and accessories. You get 1 set of Mistborn dice delivered in a beautiful collector's tin, 1 folding ladder and velvet dice tray, 1 folding ladder and velvet dice tower. There's a photo on the Kickstarter page of the dice tray and the dice tower that you assemble. So yeah, you can start pledging $50 to guarantee that you will be able to pay the remainder $130 to get the Mistborn Metal Dice. Or you can go all the way and pay $180. I know it's expensive, but it's a collection of actual metal dice. Perfectly machined, very detailed. It's a collection item. It's not something that I would take to a convention, for example. It's something to be tucked away at home and be used on special occasions. They are running the Kickstarter until December the 20th, which is a Friday. Crafty Games has a great history of delivering. You can believe them. They are very good at what they do. Right now, as I record this, they pledged, the original pledge is $30,000. They are at $75,000 with 450 backers. A lot of people want those dice, and you might want to. So check it out, link in the show notes. Let's go to my next project that I'm recommending for you. This is one that I backed myself. It's called Station Master. It's a game that was originally published by Mayfair Games, may God rest her soul, in 2004. It was praised at the time for its high player interaction, something you don't see very often in train-themed games. And now Calliope Games got the license and is releasing a new and improved version of Station Master. How does the game work? Station Master is a train-themed card game for 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 players. It plays, I believe, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, between 30 and 50 minutes. It will take longer the more players play, but the game is more fun with more people, I guarantee you. Okay, it's very fun with 2 people, but it's more fun with 4 or 5 people. I don't believe I ever played the original with 6 players, but I played with 5, and it's very fun. I like games that allow you to play with only 2 people without any changes on the rules. But with a lot of people around the table, I don't know, maybe I have the right group. Anyhow, 2 to 6 players, 30 to 50 minutes. And in the game, players are working at the station, attaching rail cars to locomotives and boarding passengers on trains, trying to score the most points to win. The victory points are called efficiency points. The art for this new edition of the game has been completely redone, and they use this opportunity to refine the rules, to upgrade and to update them, and update the stuff that comes in the box. The cards are sturdier and has a linen finish, which I love. The tokens are made of wood and thicker, better defined than the original ones. And so I think that even if you own the original, the first edition of Station Master by Mayfair Games, you might want to take a look on this one and maybe replace your old box. There's a link in the Kickstarter page for the PDF of the new rule set, so take a look. What we get 13 locomotive cards, which are the machines that pull the trains. They have a value on top left corner that determines both the number of rail cars the train can pull and how many passenger pawns they can ride. That can ride in the train. It comes with 93 Station Master cards. There are 2 types of Station Master cards: rail cars and action cards. Play rail cars to a train to affect its value, and play action cards to perform special abilities. And then you have 6 depot cards. Each player receives 1 depot card at the start of the game and can play it once per game to immediately score a train and then restart it. It also comes with 36 wooden passenger pawns. The standard class game, I'll talk about the 2 types of releases that they're making. There's the standard class of game that comes with 6 of each of the items: perfume, teacup, bookcase, and top hat. The executive class comes with 6 of each: purse, ticket, flask, teapot, camera, and derby hat. What does it mean, standard class and executive class? So the standard game comes in a regular box. It's that common retail 2-piece box. A total of 112 cards and 36 wooden pawns. The pledge is for $25. For only $5 more, $30, you get the executive class, which comes with a flip-top magnetic closed box with inserts, like with vellum. It's not vellum. What's the name of it? That fluffy cloth inside of the box, not just a bare box. It comes with the same high-quality 112 linen finish cards, and the wooden pawns are exclusive. The shapes are different. The ideas are the same, but instead of having a top hat, it is a derby hat. Instead of a case, it's a camera. Instead of a teacup, it's a teapot. So they're different. I think it's good for the box. The box is like, I usually create separations inside of my boxes anyway, and sometimes I even use that type of paper that's kind of fluffy. And here it comes ready for only extra $5, which is cheaper than my work on doing that. What else? There's also the round trip for $55, in which you get 1 copy of both the standard and executive class editions of the game. There's also there's no added shipping if you pledge $55 to get the 2 boxes, which is cool. And then you have one extra pledge that is exclusive for brick and mortar retailers. So if you are a retailer, take a look. They have special pledge levels just for you. They have some extra stuff here, some add-ons. Shipping, they are already estimating that it's an estimation. It's going to be around $6 for the United States, $7 all US dollars for Canada, 10 for Europe, Russia, Turkey, 15, Australia, New Zealand, rest of the world, which is me, $20. But they're not charging shipping right now. They will only charge shipping when they actually ship your game. So I'm pledging just for the box I want, and then next year the prediction is to be delivered in May 2020. They will charge shipping. I much prefer Kickstarters to do that, and Calliope Games is doing that. Calliope Games has already created 8 Kickstarter projects. They are veterans of the platform, and I like what they're doing, man. Their latest games are very pretty and enjoyable to play with friends and family. The Kickstarter goes all the way to the 12th of December. Just began. They need $10,000. They are at the recording of this at 6,500 with 213 backers, but with 22 days to go, 3 weeks, they'll be able to do this. They are usually successful on their crowdfunding, and they need your help. Take a look. I know it's a nerdy thing to be a fan of trains, but come on, we are all nerds here. All right, those are the 2 projects I wanted to bring to you this week on The Curators. That's it for another episode of the show. If you have any questions about the games I featured here, or if you'd like me to consider one specific game for the podcast, feel free to email me at thecurators@gamerati.com. and I will answer you on the podcast. You can also reach myself on Twitter and Facebook at Gamerati. The show notes for this episode and all our episodes are at thecurators.gamerati.com. You can also find The Curators on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. And don't forget to check our curated page at kickstarter.com/Gamerati. Every week we add tons of interesting games there for you to consider, maybe something you never heard before. And we are also on YouTube at youtube.com/Gamerati. See you next one.